Well, I'm talking about change today. And it seems to me I may have talked about this in the past, but I'm kind of mixing it up today. You know, it's 2016, and it's a year later than it was a week ago. And hopefully we're a year older. You know, we're a year older, hopefully we're wiser. And all I know is I'm not watching TV in 2016 because I can't stand the political commercials. They drive me nuts. But anyway, I decided to talk about change. And change happens all the time. It is an integral part of how this whole universe works. And yet we as human beings often don't like change. We are afraid of it. When everything in our world is going along the way we want it to go along, that makes us very happy. We feel like we're in control of life. And then when everything blows up and changes, it makes us feel like we are out of control. And we're thinking, what's going to happen next? We're basically afraid of the unknown. And yet, the truth is, much of what happens in this world is out of our control anyway. And we often don't know what's going to happen next. But you know, and I do this too, we love to imagine the worst. You know, our imagination gets going and we're thinking, this is going to be a horrible disaster. This is going to change my life forever. It's going to be terrible. And yet, if you really think about it, how many times do these supposed horrible disasters have a way of working themselves out over time? And it doesn't end up being a life-altering event. A big part of the Eastern belief system is being at peace with our reality, which is really very smart. Do we control the weather? Do we control what's going to happen with our fragile world economy? No. Can we predict if we're going to get in a car accident driving home from work or school or whatever else it is? No, we can't. There are things in life that we have control over, but there's a whole lot of stuff out there that we just plain don't. For example, do we know when the next large asteroid is going to hit the Earth? It's happened before, and the scientists say it's not an if, it's a when. We don't know. Where's the next tornado going to strike? We don't know until the storm starts developing. Will there be more earthquakes, more tsunamis? Yes, there will. We don't have control over this stuff. Now, when we are able to be at peace with our reality, what our reality is right in the moment, we can accept that change happens all the time. If we end up being afraid and angry when changes occur, all that does is make us a nervous wreck. It makes us suffer. And of course, it makes the people around us suffer because we are in such a horrible mood. We just love to share the misery. You know, I'm in a bad mood. Am I going to be nice to people? No. That doesn't accomplish anything good. If we can be at peace with change, that has some big benefits. For one thing, it keeps us calm and quiet inside, which, number one, allows us to think clearly so we can make the best decisions possible with regard to whatever change is happening. And it also means that we are not punishing the people around us because we're all bent out of shape over the change. It allows us to be the kind, loving people that we want to be. Now, did you know that the word evolution is just a fancy name for change. Change is the cause of the origin, the development, and the maintenance of all parts of the universe, animate or inanimate. Change has, over the course of time and throughout space, brought forth galaxies, stars, planets, and life itself. So scientists have decided to give this process of universal change a more elegant name, which it truly deserves. So its new name is cosmic evolution. How many times have human beings been absolutely, positively sure that things were a certain way? And then when someone tells them that it's not that way, they have a fit. Well, did people have a fit when someone told them that the earth wasn't flat, that it was round? That the earth revolves around the sun instead of the sun revolving around the earth? Yes, they did. They had a fit. They didn't want to believe it. This isn't part of my established belief system. Look at Darwin's theory of evolution. Many people had an absolute heart attack over that. And even though all of the discoveries and scientific advancements since that time continue to reinforce the truth of that theory, there are people out there who believe it is a lie, because that isn't what's written in the Bible. What they don't understand is that the Bible story was a story trying to describe something that is beyond description. In the future, there will continue to be changes in what we believe because of all of these advancements in science, and that is our reality. Now, for example, in the middle of the 20th century, there were two competing stories about how the universe came into being. The first one was the Big Bang Theory, which basically just said that first there was nothing, and then everything popped into existence. The other was the steady state theory, which said that the universe had no beginning, and that it just continues to expand endlessly. Now, even though the Big Bang Theory had some problems right off the bat, there were things that didn't make sense, just didn't fit in, that was what the field of science went with. Now, according to the Big Bang Theory, in the beginning there was nothing except hydrogen gas and helium gas. I don't know, just floating around out there doing something, who knows. And somehow these two gases came together and mixed, and that caused a mammoth explosion of energy, which began the creation of the universe. So in very simplistic terms, you can say that basically the universe was created by a chemical reaction between these two gases. Now presently, with advanced telescope capacities, scientists are gathering new information about the universe, and this new information is causing the Big Bang Theory to unravel. Now, of course, many of the scientists who have been teaching and backing the Big Bang Theory don't want to hear this. They don't care about new information. This is my belief system. I'm sticking with it. You know, this always happens. People don't want to let go of things, you know. They don't want to consider new possibilities. Now, the new idea about the creation of the universe has come from new discoveries about black holes, and it is called the black hole theory. prior to the present time, it was believed that there were very few black holes in the universe. That has turned out to be incorrect. They are actually very common. They are throughout the universe, and we have a black hole at the center of our galaxy. It has also been discovered that black holes are not the guzzling monsters that scientists thought they were. You know, like this supercharged vacuum cleaner that sucks in everything around it, including light. And whatever goes in there, man, it is gone. Gone. That's not the way it is. With the new telescopes, they have discovered that there are electrons pouring out of the black holes. There is also antimatter and gamma ray radiation, which is pouring out of the black holes. So scientists are now saying that black holes are not only the source of creation, it is a creative force in the universe, but they are also the source of infinite light, because that's what they're giving off. Yes, black holes suck things in, but they also pour things out. It's kind of like the Hindu god Shiva that tears down the old to make way for new growth. That is exactly what these black holes are doing. And scientists are saying, and of course this is very similar to the steady state theory that wasn't gone with back in 100 years ago. They're saying that this creation, this sucking in by black holes and then pouring out, is infinite and eternal. It has no beginning, has no end, it is a continuous process. Scientists are now saying we live in a fractal black hole universe with creation happening every moment at every single level and in everything. There was no Big Bang. The universe is endless creation. The centers of the galaxies, including black holes, are a creative force in the universe. And that has been described by many earlier cultures. For example, the Maya considered the center of the galaxy as the Great Mother or the cosmic moon. The Gnostics had a creation story in which the goddess at the center of our universe is what created our world. One of the scientists studying this new theory, Dr. Manjir Samada Lawton, states, quote, "Everything is a spiral of living, breathing, creative light from infinity, occurring at every level. And at the heart of every spiral is the same infinite oneness that connects every structure in this universe from the very large to the very small." Now you notice they are talking about a universe that is eternal, endless creation. They are also talking about the infinite oneness that encompasses everything. And that principle is the same religious principle that teachers of many religions have talked about for thousands of years. You know, it's amazing how things, old ideas that end up coming back. Bob was telling me the other day, he's a great source of information, right? Anyway, he was telling me that, in the music field, the CDs are kind of moving out, and they're getting the old hat, and iPods, and computers, and the cloud, and all this kind of stuff. Well, apparently, so many people are now, have gone back to records, which they are playing on record players, that one of the big music companies has now started a new record club. Do you remember those? You'd sign up and you'd get a new record every month. Well, guess what? There's a new record club out there. Go figure. So in this new year, let us try to not be afraid of change. It is a constant in our lives. We need to learn to go with the flow. Now, of course, that is the teaching of Taoism. Flow like a river. You know, water, let's say you have this creek, and a big boulder falls off the cliff next to it, and right in the middle of the creek. Water doesn't waste its time or its energy trying to blast through the boulder. Oh no, it finds the easiest way to go around it. And if we can do that in our lives, that will help keeping us from creating our own suffering. Okay.